What's up, everyone? It's your boy, The Business, coming back at you live for episode 27 of The Business. Let's be real. Tonight, I kind of wanted to somewhat focus a little bit on some of the events that have been going on, some of the boxing exhibitions. Last week, Logan Paul and Floyd Mayweather put on a little exhibition. I'm going to chat about that. I'm going to chat about the battle of the platforms last night between some of the YouTubers versus some of the TikTokers, their little beefs that they have between themselves. And, some of that was able to get handled last night. And then some of it was just, straight, fighting for just because, they were trying to fill a card. But, I thought that some of those guys looked like real athletes, looked like real fighters, trying to really learn the craft. Others looked, we'll have to talk about that some more. I'm going to talk about those two events, and then I'm going to get into the UFC 263 card from last night. Really enjoyed it. I was able to get onto it, and, we're going to talk about that as well. So super excited to chat about some little live events that are going on now and trying to talk about that. So with that being said, The Business, let's be real. Episode 27 begins now. What's up, everyone? Welcome back to The Business. Let's be real. Episode 27 tonight. I did want to somewhat chat about the events that have been going on lately with these exhibitions, the boxing exhibitions that have been happening. Logan Paul versus Floyd Mayweather last week was one of the cards. They, fought a little 8-round exhibition. I think that it was truly what an exhibition is classified as, because nobody was really trying to hurt the other guy. They were doing a lot of, wrestling and just holding on to each other, throwing some punches. Floyd could have hurt him truly probably at any time. He did catch him with some good punches, and Logan Paul was able to show that he had a pretty good chin on him. Some of his punches looked a little wild, but that's part of it, because he's not a boxer. He's somebody who's young and coming up, and really doesn't have that much to go on. Johnny Montaliano, what's up, buddy? The hype is real. You know it, dude. That's what's crazy. I'm telling you, like, these people were able to draw a lot of money for what it is that they were trying to do. I don't think that they talk too much about what it is, but they do a lot of charity work with the money they're raising as well. So, I think that sometimes, these guys are going out there, and I know that they're trying to be funny about it. And when they're putting on those exhibitions, it's just something different. But it was funny to see, because it was one of the few times that I was able to watch a recent Floyd fight and not, want to see Floyd be the one to take the beat. And I wanted to see him lay it out there this time. And it had been a while since I was able to say that about Floyd. I think the last time I was truly able to say it was during the Ricky Hatton fight, way back in the day. I really wanted him to take it to Ricky Hatton, even though I liked Ricky and I thought Ricky was a good guy, but I thought that was a fight that was going to be a proving ground for him at that time. But the exhibition was good. I thought it was, what people expected it to be. I think, let's be real, like, he's not going to go out there and try to take that kid's head off. They just made a lot of money together. So, it was for the good of the entertainment, so, and I think that they did an okay job of doing that. But, we'll see what's coming up next. Last night, to kind of follow suit with the boxing exhibitions in a way, the YouTubers and the TikTokers got together and did a battle of the platforms. That I thought was a little different. You could see that, some of these kids hadn't really trained too long. So other ones took it serious. I know that one of our hometown boys was able to try to train one of the TikTokers, but he didn't, win. And, Ricky Keelis had fun training him. I mean, he was enjoying the event. I saw, a bunch of pictures and videos from them out in Miami at Hard Rock, and they were having a great time out there anyway. And it was a really cool show. And once again, they're out there trying to put money together and get money. And, they were selling out crowds, and it was good to see, like I said, people getting out again and kind of enjoying some of these events. So, yeah, I watched some of that because I did want to see some of the fights. I didn't start watching it until right after Michael Leon, who was trained by Ricky Keelis, had fought already. And I was able to catch the DDG versus Nate Wyatt fight. That fight was pretty good. It was pretty much handled by DDG. Like he came out there and did his thing. And was able to win that decision pretty handily. The next fight I watched was that Desi versus Vinny Hacker fight. I don't know. Desi was someone who kind of like had fought in, I want to say, Logan Paul before. How y'all doing? Holly and Matthew, how y'all guys doing? When he fought Logan, he was able to take it to Logan. I think, Mike, how you doing, buddy? Good to see you, man. Hope you're doing well. I think that he thought he was going to come out and be able to do it to Vinny Hacker too. And Hacker was able to weather the storm. He did take some good shots early in the fight. Desi was just throwing some hammers over the top, and Hacker was able to take him. And then was able to wear the big man down. The big man ended up, gassing out, and then started taking some shots. And the kid was able to work and was hitting him to the body, hitting him to the head. And it was really probably one of the more entertaining fights to see because it was kind of an upset. And yeah, so I mean, I definitely like that fight because, like I said, it was a banger versus a tall, lean dude who could scrap, and Hacker came out on top. So. The next fight was kind of an interesting fight. Taylor Holder versus, Anderson Gibb. And Anderson Gibb had been beaten by Jake before and kind of got beat up by Jake and came back in better shape. Was kind of more trained and ready to go. Looked good in the ring. Like, didn't look great, but he was bouncing. I mean, throwing punches, like he looked like he had trained to fight. And Taylor Holder thought he was going to go out there and be, the street fighter Taylor and be able to just take it to people. And it didn't work out in his favor. As far as the fight went, to what I saw, and the cards told otherwise, which was really weird because Taylor Holder ended up winning the fight by judge's decision. But I didn't think that was real. I mean, Anderson Gibb kind of called it out afterwards too, and the announcers and everybody, throughout the arena knew that Taylor Holder lost that fight, and hopefully he can, try to come to terms with that as well. Scotty, it comes early in summer level, right? Yeah, like it's still sunshine outside. Those boys are jokes. Floyd disappointed me. I know. I was hoping that he was going to try to take it to Logan, but he didn't really want to hurt the kid. Like I said, they were making a lot of money together. So, the last card of the fight for the Battle of the Platforms was Austin McBroom versus Bryce Hall, and a lot of people have been wanting to see that fight. They had, of course, their little press conferences beforehand, and it kind of told me a lot when Bryce tried to rush Austin McBroom and McBroom just kind of brushed him off like nothing, and he rolled on the floor. Like it was funny to see because I was like, wow, he's so much stronger than this kid. The kid came in, Bryce Hall saying as the kid came in, had some nice work going early in the fight, was really like doing his thing. Oh, I'm definitely gonna talk about Brandon Moreno tonight. I'm definitely talking about Brandon Moreno for sure. Um, and when early in the fight, he was doing this pretty move where he was dipping McBroom's punches and counter punching, and he was working it nice, and McBroom saw that and didn't like it and was able to get him into a brawl style fight. Then for the next like 2.5 rounds, and in Bryce Hall totally went away from his nice, dip and counter. Started getting hit with just jabs straight up the middle. Bam, 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 was getting beat up, busted nose. And then, Austin McBroom kind of controlled the fight leading up to that. And then I want to say early in the fourth, his coaches finally told him, like, between rounds, like, listen, get back to your dip move, and he was doing it well, but he wasn't doing it well enough. And then wasn't counterpunching the way he was earlier in the fight. And that's what he needed to do, was put it together like he was earlier in the fight. And he never got back to that. So he was able, then McBroom was able to catch up to him, was busting him up. He's, they started getting a little sloppy. And then the referee had to call it, man. It kind of got a little wild there at the end, but it is what it is. So, yeah, I mean, I think that card wasn't a bad card. I didn't see the greatest of fighting in it. Like, of course, like I said, the probably the best fight of the night was Desi, and, the one kid that was young and long and lean. Vinny Hacker is somebody who, if he trained to fight, he could be good with these YouTubers and TikTokers. Like, if he could be the champion in the platform stage, I guess. But yeah, so, pretty decent card. Nothing to write home to mom about. But yeah, that's what they're doing now to try to make something happen. Logan was a hugger. He did hug in that fight a lot. That's what I was saying earlier, Scott, had probably before you got on, when I talked about the Floyd Logan fight, I talked that they were, wrestling around a lot and, didn't land much. Because of the fact that I don't think, like I said, because they were earning so much money together, Floyd really wasn't trying to hurt the kid. Because and I know that when we saw some of those combinations come from Logan, they weren't the best, they were kind of sloppy. He was open hand, like slapping at certain points, and it was just kind of funny. Yes, it was easy payday. Yeah, so I do want to somewhat chat now about the UFC card, and I apologize for stepping out of the screen real quick. My leg is itching. But yeah, just the UFC 263 card was something that I have been waiting for. I haven't had a chance to see any good cards where there was going to be some big fights on late in the card and have me entertained. And 263 delivered. I tell you what, I was able to flip over back and forth between the platforms and this one, and was able to catch one of my favorites of all time, Nate Diaz, and love him, love the Diaz brothers, super cool guys, great fighters, great stamina, and see him fight against Leon Edwards. And Leon Edwards isn't nobody to mess around with, like he came strong, he was handling the fight. And for sure, Johnny, Nate Diaz is the man, bro. But Leon handled the fight to him. He was able to attack. He was able to hit with the more significant shots. He was chopping him up with elbows, and was able to bust him open pretty bad. It was funny in the fourth round. Nate had gone to Nate was in the corner, and his face is just bleeding from everywhere. His head's chopped up. Homeboy's bleeding, and I'm telling the wife, I'm like, look at the guy's chest, though. Look at his chest, and Nate's chest isn't even moving. He's not like breathing hard or nothing. Like his chest wasn't even moving. Like he's just sitting there and the guys are cleaning his face up and he's just sitting there chilling like just another day. Just another day. Like really, like that's how these Diaz boys are. They're in that kind of shape that, you know, they were able to, you know, do this in their careers and made it look cool. You know what I'm saying? Like they're definitely, yeah, Scotty, they're definitely bleeders, dude. You know, definitely bleeders. Definitely got a lot of scar tissue on the brow area. You know, but don't care. That doesn't phase them to see that blood. They're good with it. They just keep rolling. You know, and you know they do their thing. And it was a good, entertaining fight too. You know, like I said, Leon Edwards was handling the fight pretty much for the entirety of it. Nate was able to get off a few shots, and then late in the fight, late in the fifth, with about a minute to go, he was able to kind of draw Leon Edwards into a little scrap. And as he did, he popped Leon, you know what I'm saying? And Leon staggered back. And it was kind of funny to see because Nate did the usual Nate, you know, he points, laughs at him. And then as he walked towards him, he didn't really attack, you know, and didn't close him out the way I thought he should have at that point because of the fact that he really gave him a lot of time to recover. And I don't know, you know what I'm saying? Like that was the best choice because I felt like if he would have attacked him then, he probably could have finished him because Homeboy was bouncing around on some rubbery legs. Like his legs went to nothing. And it would have been nice to see Nate attack him at that point. Nate tried to attack him later. By then, the kid had kind of got himself a little bit somewhat back together, was able to hold on and wrestle, was still falling around on legs. And that's why I say that he probably should have attacked earlier and been able to probably close the show if he would have just done that right when he shook him. But yeah, he didn't. And Leon Edwards was able to go on and win the decision. And I thought that was pretty fair, pretty legit decision. Great fight, though. Like, always a pleasure to watch one of the Diaz boys fight. You know, they're talking about Nick coming out of retirement, and you never know, man. It'll be interesting to see if Nick will come back later this year and fight. It'd be awesome to see. You know, huge fan of that guy, like huge fan of that guy. So would totally be excited to watch that. And no matter who he fights. The next fight was the co-main event of the evening. And it was between Davidson, Figueiredo, and Brandon Moreno. And this fight was a rematch of a fight that they had. And Brandon Moreno took the fight previously on short notice and made a pretty good fight out of it. Like, you know, they were banging. And I don't know if those of you watched the highlights or saw the fight before, but that fight was a really good fight. And yeah, that's what I'm hoping for, Scotty. I'm hoping that, you know, there's talk that he really is looking to come back and at least fight, you know, one, you never know. He get back in the ring, he gets that hunger back. I mean, it's been quite a few years. I know it's 5+ now at this point since Nick's been in the ring. So we'll have to see. But yeah, it was the Moreno Figueiredo fight was really cool fight. That's true. Yeah, he had a lot to fight for last night. He was really going at it. And I was surprised early in the first round, and I'm sure if you guys were watching that fight, you guys all saw it too. When Moreno hit him with a jab and folded him over like a beach chair, like literally, like homeboy just crumpled, forehead hit the ground, legs. I mean, everything was like an accordion, and he just fell. And Moreno kind of, you know, attacked him, but he took it as a flash knockdown though, did Davidson. And he was able to roll on his back and they let him keep fighting. And most people when referees watch that happen to somebody and they fall like that, it's the fight's over. They're not going to let you keep fighting after your body collapses like that. And luckily, for him, the referees were able to do that. And so it was good to see. Let them keep fighting. Those boys got at it. Brandon Moreno was just constantly moving forward, trying to come straight ahead, and was trying to execute. And he was able to. He got the back of Davidson a couple times, then was able to get in the body triangle and was able to just that's like a python squeezing all the air out of you, when it's wrapped around your body and it's there. And and then he just kept fighting with the hands and was able to wrap it up, lock it out, and it was a great moment for him, great moment for his family, great moment for Mexico, and I was proud of that kid because I watched a lot of that kid's career. I remember when he was on an Ultimate Fighter and just, he was just little, truly babyface assassin. He was somebody that, when you watched him fight, you wanted him to succeed because all he did was smile and was having fun. He wasn't out there, trying to be nasty about the sport. He was just trying to have fun and that's truly one for the good guys last night. So cheers to Brandon Moreno, the new champ of the world. Oh, man. So yeah, that was an exciting fight. The place went crazy for Moreno, yeah, for sure. And Scotty, cheers to you, brother. Because it's nice to see the good guy win sometimes, So it was a beautiful match. Moreno executed the way he knew he could. He knew that he made it a good fight in the first one off short notice and knew that if he had some time to really prepare and train, and he had 6 months for this one. So, if that kid wasn't ready for this fight, he was never going to be ready. And I mean, he proved it. He proved that he was ready to come out and do it. And, he executed and he did. And it was great to watch. Yeah, so the last fight of the night was Israel Adesanya, Izzy, the style bender versus Marvin Vittori, the Italian assassin. This kid is a monster, man. He's a beast, dude. Like, I don't care, what anybody says about what's going on outside of the ring. But when the kid gets inside the ring, if he's allowed and legit to get inside the ring, then, hey, you got to deal with him. I didn't think Vittori did anything to what he wanted to do, other than early in the fight. Like, literally first round, he was able to attack a little bit. He was able to take Izzy down. Izzy got out that first time. And then Vittori just really didn't have much. All he did was bounce around from the outside. Izzy was able to just pick him apart out there and just keep him away. The champ's the champ. He's not foolish, and I've talked about that before with Izzy. Izzy's a smart fighter. He's kind of the Floyd of the MMA. He's not going to let you get inside. He's not going to let you beat him up too bad. He's going to keep you at distance. He's going to keep you afraid, and then, and drag out the fight. And before you know, you lost 1, 2, 3. You're only fighting 5. So guess what? You're stuck now. So you got to come back and go too hard. And by then, he's able to keep you at distance. He's beating up your front leg with them calf kicks. Those calf kicks are so, it's so rough to see now. Like, I can't believe that the sport has come to that, like how lethal those calf kicks are, and just how you can take anybody out with those, man. So, and that's what he was able to do to Vittori. He beat up Vittori's legs. Slowed him down even more than what he was. He's a big guy, big muscular guy. It takes a lot of oxygen to feed those muscles, and it's you'll slow down eventually against a long, lean guy. And Izzy was the same way as a Nate Diaz. Izzy wasn't breathing hard throughout the fight. He was just straight chilling. That was just an everyday sparring session for him. Let's be real, because of the fact that I don't feel like Vittori ever really brought it to him. And other than, like I said, early in the first round, and was able to take him down. And other than that, it was not much going on. So, yeah, it was like Izzy, like I said, fought exactly the way he wanted to. I think that, he's been entertaining enough for quite a while now. And you kind of want to continue to see these guys come up against him, but you know that they're not going to be able to, especially if he stays down. If he stays down, and Blachowicz showed that, like, those guys up are too big, not based on size, because Izzy's just as tall as them, but Izzy's not as big as those guys. Like, let's be real. Like, he's just not. And he's a good fighter in his division. He's can go down as one of the best, if not the best, and one of the toughest divisions to do it. It's crazy. Like, it's crazy what he's able to do and what he's able to accomplish. So killer cardio. Yeah, for sure. For sure. Does got the killer cardio. Oh yeah, me and my cellos, baby. The beers always. So yeah, was happy to see that, though. I didn't want to see, Vittori win that fight. Like Izzy a lot. Always thought that his style was cool. Thought that the way he, he's an entertainer, and I like it, and I'm happy to watch those kind of cards, so that we can always chat about it and see what's up next for the future. I know he called out Robert, Whitaker, Bobby Knuckles, and wants to go at it with him, and we'll have to see, because of the fact that that was a good fight before. So I think it'll be a good fight again. And he was able to, take it to Robert Whitaker the first time, and I think he wants to put on another entertaining fight again. Like, I think those are the kind of fights he wants his legacy to go down with, are those kind of fights where he's able to fight those guys that were supposed to be some of the greats at that time, and they were. I mean, Robert Whitaker was the champ at that time, and it was, great fight. So I'd like to see it again. If they're able to do it, let's do it. Yeah, so that's a little bit about what I wanted to chat about tonight. I did want to talk about some of these events that are going on in the boxing exhibitions, and then talk about MMA, which is something that I truly love. I truly love talking about MMA, watching MMA, being able to dissect the sport and realize what it is that we're able to watch, and kind of try to deliver that to you somewhat, so that what you're watching, you're not just kind of like looking at it blank. And yeah, so it's like those are that's what I'm trying to give you, and trying to hope to thank you, Scotty, man. And just kind of let you know about all the different things that are going on as well, because I think that these boxing exhibitions are pretty cool. Like I said, I had a friend of mine from Lorraine, Ricky Quiles, was able to train one of these TikTokers for their fight in that battle of the platforms. And I don't know how much time he had with him. It didn't seem like much, but yeah, I mean, that's pretty cool. And I think that those events, they're out there raising money and putting money together to put in their pockets, but they're also trying to do it for some good causes as well. So I think that that's a pretty cool idea on what it is that they're doing. And that's the only reason why I'm kind of chatting about it, and kind of going in about what it is that they're doing. Plus, it's something to talk about. I know people talk about it, and some people saw the highlights, but it's like I actually was watching the events so that I can actually deliver my viewpoint of what it is that I saw, and I don't know, and just bring it to you guys and try to put you in that. So yeah, I enjoyed it. Like I said, the Logan Paul Mayweather exhibition was an exhibition. The YouTubers, TikTokers platform battle was just that. What you thought it was going to be. And yeah, UFC 263, it delivered. I was happy to watch it. Like I said, happy to see Diaz get back out there fighting. Leon Edwards fought a great fight, was able to win that one. Brandon Moreno, like I said to you before, cheers, champ. And Izzy coming out with the win again over Vittori, like we all thought he would, So with that, I'm going to go ahead and give my final quote of the night and get out of here. I had an opportunity this past Friday to go to a new place, not too far from my home, and found this new little, diamond in the rough kind of thing that I had no idea about. It was called Jake's Landing. And went there and had a great time, like met up with my wife and my son, and they were already out there, with some friends of ours with, Karen and Rylan were out there with them. And it was nice to go out there, and it was very tranquil, and it was beautiful out there, and we were able to meet this young lady that was sitting next to us called Susie. And she talked to us the whole time. And she brought up a point to me about, we were talking about me kind of coaching and what that means to me. And I said a quote to her, and she just sat back like, wow, that was pretty cool. And, everybody that was sitting around us too at that time just was like, okay, I see you. Like, and, a coaching to me is like parenting. We're not there to live through them. We're there to live with them. And, that's what they expect from us. We can't make them us. We can't give them all the insight into life. And, even though we wish we could and just tell them all that we've been through and them understand and them get it, they got to live it for themselves. And they got to see, that that's the way life is. So with that being said, the business, let's be real. Episode 27, over.